Good later morning on Wednesday, October the 23rd. I didn't get right to my video today. I was, hell, I don't even know what I was doing. And then I ended up with a cat on my lap, and, you know, that was a whole deal. You can't get up after you got a cat on your lap. But anyway, before I blab on for too long, here's today's, our nest? No. Birds might live in this. I don't know all the movies that are involved in this. But here's our next stack of movies that we're going to go through. And I already see on the top, Dolls. I know I watched this. Once again, jeez. I know I watched this. You know, I can't, it's like, it's killer doll territory. There's one of these that they live near, like, an old mine or something, I think. An old mine is involved. Blah, 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 blah. A precious girl, her nasty parents, two punk rock losers, and a weak-kneed salesman inadvertently become the guest of two ghoulish senior citizens in their dark, haunted mansion. The old couple make and collect dolls that, when not sitting still like good little mannequins, creep around in the night, offing the guests one by one. You may laugh at first, but if they turn on you, you'll regret it for the rest of your short life. I know I watched this. I know I did. But I don't remember. Like, that's the reason I bought it, was so that I could watch it. Unless it's another one of those that I bought and then didn't watch, even though it's not in plastic. But I know I specifically bought this to watch it, but I don't recall. There's a lot of these I need to rewatch sometime. Much like Dolly Dearest. Here's the Dolly Dearest. A centuries-old demonic curse turns the world's most beautiful doll into the world's most savage killing machine. Now this doll has her deranged eyes aimed at an innocent little girl named Jessica and will do anything to possess her. I know it. I had to have watched these. That's specifically, you know, like I said, with, like, the whole Puppet Master thing, you know, growing up with Puppet Master and Child's Play and all that, like, I was like, what are the other, like, when I found out about other doll movies, killer doll movies, I'm like, I have to watch those, I have to get those, I have to watch those, and I have a feeling I bought these specifically to watch them, and I did watch them. I feel like I had to, but I don't remember. Much like most of the other things. Of course, we have The Craft. Again, is that a DVD that I had the other day? Or was it a Blu-ray that I had the other day? Maybe it was a Blu-ray that I had the other day, and this is the DVD version. Because this has the special stuff on it. 3 deleted scenes. Blah, blah, blah. So this is the special edition DVD. Comes with a little booklet. I don't know. It's in a pile somewhere. Was it the Blu-ray that I don't know. But yes, once again, I have multiple versions of this movie because every time I just buy whatever the newest. And of course, I probably said that when I talked about it the other day, but I kind of wish some of the deleted scenes. I wish they left it in, because I think it explained things a little bit better, or something along that line. But anyway, here's a DVD of The Craft, once again, for Ruza Balk. Amazing in that movie. We also have the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, and look, you got like a bloody, unrated right there. I remember the beginning of this was somewhat slow. It took a little bit to get started, but once it did, like, it was, you know, I feel like it was very suspenseful, very, you know, and that's I figured the beginning of the movie was a little bit slow. I remember I explained it to someone that because they're getting you interested in the characters, they're getting you attached to the characters, so that way, like, when you start killing them off, it starts mattering to you, you know. So this is the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. I've never seen the original. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Blah. Obviously I haven't napped this morning, but it's got a little blood stain down here. Is that a fingerprint? I think that's a fingerprint. Maybe it's not a fingerprint. But yeah, once again, cool slipcover, and because I like The Hills Have Eyes 1, I had to have The Hills Have Eyes 2 unrated, which I don't remember as much. Was Pyro in this one? The guy who played Pyro from the X-Men movies? The original X-Men movies. Fuck, I don't know. I don't even see a cast list or anything, but whatevs. Is it on here? Oh, here we go. Not that I can... Aaron Stanford. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who played Pyro in the X-Men movies. Now this, I, don't remember as much, but at least the slipcover is still just as cool, because you got blood splatters all over it and everything. So, unfortunately, the sequel probably wasn't as good for me as the first one. You always remember your first time. That's what they tell me anyway. Yeah, because I remember the first one. I remember the family traveling together, and I was invested in the characters by the time they started taking them away from me. This one I don't remember as much, so it must have not been as good. But there's a nice blood. Look at the blood stain in the corner there. That's so nice. So nice. I don't care. I love this movie. This is a great movie. This is Famke Janssen. Famke. I'm not actually sure how you say her name. She plays an amazing bitch, and I love her for it. And this is another example of Famke Janssen just being just a incredible bitch. Love it, love it, love it. And also the, I like the, once again, I kind of like the atmosphere of it all. It's very, it might be very 90s style kind of movie, but I liked it very much so. So much so that when there was a return to House on Haunted Hill, I had to have that too. But unfortunately, I don't remember this being... Because this had an air of fun to it, It did, I was like, of course you got your sassy Famke, but this did not have sassy Famke, so maybe that's why I didn't like it as much. I don't know. But it was just kind of, once again, like, oh, here, we're going to take this franchise that made some money and make some more money off of it, even if we don't do as good of a job. So... that's kind of what happens. Wee, mon chéri. But this one, definitely, it's horror, it's suspenseful, it's fun. It's fun. And it's kind of like, maybe like a 90s-ish, stylish kind of film. I remember liking the lighting had something to do with it, maybe, or like the house, the asylum, everything that was, going on in it. I enjoyed. So this one, definitely watch. Definitely good. This one, I guess. If you feel so inclined to do so, do so. Otherwise, skip it. And now we have The Ring. What did I have? Rings. That's the one that I had the other day. This is the original. Of course, not the original. I understand it was adapted from like an Asian horror movie. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I get it. But the American remake, the original, this was quite the phenomenon, and I got to the party kind of late. I want to say maybe they showed this. They used to show free movies on campus. I'm gonna hide behind the ring while I yawn. Let Minxie entertain you. But this was definitely a good mystery, a good, atmospheric kind of thing, and the original mystery of what is this video and why is this video and when is this video, and did I get it right from the Avengers thing? It's like, when is Gamora? Something like that. But yeah, so this, I unfortunately, I don't think the rest of the movies were as good necessarily, because, like, part of this is, like, what's happening, what's this video all about, and peeling back the layers of it all. So the original, once again, pretty good. I seem to think, I don't know, I think The Ring 2 is okay. I probably have it somewhere. It's just in a different pile, apparently. But if I have Rings, I have The Ring and Rings. So this is definitely worth a watch, I would say. And also, as far as fun 90s horror films, we have Final Destination, and it's cool. It doesn't even have a slipcover. It's just a cool cover all by itself. This is kind of a fun kind of... And unfortunately, when I originally watched this movie, I watched it with somebody who had already seen it. And so he was like, oh, check this one out. This one's really cool. This death is really cool. I'm like, I don't want to know that they die. Stop telling me shit. But it's like, oh man, watch this one. This one's so cool. And it's very elaborate. It shows you, I guess, that, don't fuck with death. Don't fuck with death. Because death will come for you. It was just kind of fun, I like watching it be shiny. I like watching it change color, all the different colors of the rainbow. But this was one of my favorite horror movies from the 90s. About, if you don't know the story, the main character here, he has they're supposed to go on there's, I think it's like a senior trip or some kind of school trip to a different country, and he has like a psychic vision when they're on the plane, and he watches it fall apart, and then he like starts freaking out, and he's like, we gotta get off the plane, we gotta get off the plane, we gotta get off the plane, and him and some of his friends and a teacher, at least one teacher, end up getting taken off the plane, and then they get left behind. And of course, as there wouldn't be a movie if the plane didn't actually crash, explode, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So then it's like they were supposed to be on there, but because he cheated Death, that made Death not very happy, and he came for all of them, and some of them he gets and some of them he doesn't, It's a horror movie, whatever. And then, of course, there's also at least one more, and it's also shiny. Final Destination 2. Of course, that's showing a spoiler right there. The cover shows a spoiler. I just won't tell you what it is if you're not paying attention. Hair color's different, so that's okay. But I actually... it was basically the same as the first movie with, somebody having a psychic vision. You'll never see... every time we go up north... and those log trucks, because this is the crash scene. There's a crash on the highway scene with this one, and that's where the psychic vision comes in, and you'll never look at log trucks the same way after this movie because they're very terrifying. So every time we go up north and we see a log truck, like Mom and I both think about this movie because of that. And actually, I was supposed to go see this movie. I went, one of my friends, I went to spend the weekend with him, and we were going to go see this movie, and I was super excited, and his girlfriend was pregnant at the time, and I ended up getting set up on a date that night that I didn't... I thought they were just like, oh, come meet this girl, come meet this girl. I didn't realize it was supposed to be a date. So, it was super awkward in the first fucking place. And then his girlfriend, since she was pregnant, she decided she didn't really want to watch anything too bloody. So instead of watching Final Destination 2, interesting, cool, horror movie, I got to go see... How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Yeah. Nothing at all what I was expecting that entire weekend. But this is... And there's something... I like the outcome, or there's a certain thing about number 2 that it's going to be a spoiler, So, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. So don't listen. Wait for the next movie. But because of the events of this movie, because these people get off the plane, they're alive when they're not supposed to be. So it turns out these people are alive when they're not supposed to be, because they threw everything out of whack in this one. It affected these people's lives, and when death has to come for these people, it throws these people off the chain, and then death has to come for them because of what originally happened. So I thought that was a nice little twist, that it was like, oh well, the first movie still matters, because it was like the events of this movie affected these, even though it's mostly a new cast. you know, it's still, what happened in this affected, that. So I just thought that was kind of a cool, neat little twist for your second part, And the last movie I have in my lap is Creepshow. In this old, I kind of miss these. I don't know. I kind of like these little DVD cases, but this was one of the ones, a classic horror movie. I ended up having to watch it. I don't necessarily remember all the stories in it. I might remember them separately, because there's a lot of these anthology kind of horror movies that I've seen now since. Two macabre masters, writer Stephen King and director George A. Romero, conjure up 5 shocking yarns, each a virtuoso exercise in the ghouls and gag style of classic 50s horror comics. A murdered man emerges from the grave for Father's Day cake. That I don't know. That one I can't necessarily... A meteor's ooze makes everything grow. I think that might be the one that I remember, because it's the... is it like the kids at the summer camp and the things in the water or whatever, and then they end up out on the... stuck out on the dock in the middle of the water, I think, because there was some kind of ooze thing, and I remember, once again, this is a spoiler, I won't give you exact details, but so mute me for a second if you don't want a spoiler about Creepshow. But the main reason that I remember the whole thing about the ooze being in the water and them being out on the dock is, like, it comes through the dock and gets one of them while they're sleeping. So that's the main thing that I remember about the whole ooze storyline being in the water. Okay, you can I'm blowing kisses today, apparently. You can come back. I'm done with the spoilers. We're done. You can come back now. Let's see. A professor selects his wife as a snack for a crated creature. I don't remember that one. A scheming husband plants 2 lovers up to their necks in terror. Is that the one with, like, the water? Maybe the tide is coming in or something, maybe? A malevolent millionaire with an insect phobia becomes the prey of a cockroach army. Add the spirited performances of a fine cast: Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, Leslie Nielsen, Ted Danson, E.G. Marshall, and King himself, and the ghoulish makeup wizardry of Tom Savini. Let the creep show begin. So, this was kind of a fun, like I said, there's been a lot of anthology horror movies since this. Like I said, there's even a Creepshow 2. I don't know for sure if I've seen Creepshow 2. I know there was, like, the ABCs of Horror. They did that one, and then there's like an ABCs of Horror 2. So, there's been a lot since this movie. But as far as I know, this was one of the first. So, and it's you get a couple different stories for your money. So even if one is kind of boring you, I guess you can fast forward through it if you get sick of it, and then move on to the next one, another one. As I just watched Tosh.0, so another one. So yeah, this was a fun kind of little movie to to watch for the different vignettes thing. I was trying to figure out another way to say it wrong. So yeah, I would say watch this one. It was fun. And like I said, I don't know about Creepshow 2, but I might have it. I might have seen it. Who knows? I don't even movies that I'm sure that I've watched, I still don't know. So that's a major problem that I'm running into with doing this. But at least I can tell you what I do remember, or introduce you to, ones that maybe you've never seen before. This one was a little bit more like kind of basic bitch horror movies, I guess. Some of the more 90s kind of, the widely released, widely advertised, everywhere. Everyone's probably seen them. So, but then, luckily I have these ones that I picked up from somewhere, and I don't even have a clue where they came from or how I found out about them or why I bought them in the first place. Sometimes just even like walking through, like a flea market or something, just looking through the movies there, I find some that I haven't seen before, and I'm like, well, that one might be kind of cool, so I buy it and then never watch it, like most of the things. But anyway, is this day 8 or day 9? I don't know. It's Wednesday. I only know that because my friend Mary Lee told me this morning, because I said something about when I was waiting until Wednesday for my payment to go through, and she's like, that's today. I'm like, oh, it's today. Okay. Today is Wednesday. So now I know. Cool. But anyway, it's more horror movies. So anyway, and I'll probably do this daily at least until the end of October, because it's kind of horror, it's the horror month. So maybe I'll take a little break after that. Of course, I might run out of horror movies before then. Who knows? I don't know. Hopefully not. I'll try to, but I still have all that. I still have all that shit to go through. Do you want to see the update, since we're past a week now? What my shelf looks like over there? It's mostly empty, but there's still all of those movies. Yeah. Well, I've covered these over here on this section, but none of those, and of course that will be for tomorrow. And then I think that's mostly like sci-fi movies and action movies and that kind of stuff. But there's movies in there. There's movies in there, I think. There's definitely movies in there. There's VHSs in there. Those are my movies that I've done already. I'm kind of putting them in a pile, because I don't want to cover up the ones in the back, so that I can get to them when I need to, as in, tomorrow and the next couple days. So anyway, thanks once again for watching me be way out of frame. It should be a little sideways. Am I leaning now? I'm just the Tower of Pisa. But I have noodles. I need to go get my noodles and put this up so y'all can check it out if you want to. So I'll see you for what I see ya.